Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good day, whatever time of the day it is. I hope you're all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex, and welcome back to some more GTA 5. And before we start, can I just say that quite recently we hit 100,000 subscribers, which is an incredible number. And it's quite strange because although this isn't the first time I've had a channel hit 100,000 subscribers, unlike my LexTube channel, which took like 2 to 3 years for it to happen, this channel has got this far in about 6 or 7 months, which is just an outstanding achievement, and I couldn't have done it without all of your guys' support. You watching my videos, subscribing, commenting, liking, all of these things. I am just eternally grateful. You are all amazing people. So I was actually going to, you're probably wondering, there's like a few videos missing. You're like, where the hell have you been? I was going to do a room tour video for my 100,000 subscriber thing, but my room was a complete mess. I've been using it as a storage cupboard pretty much for the last few months. And I spent all of last week and the weekend pretty much just ripping my room out and starting again. So I have now got a new camera, and I will have a room tour video up very soon, but not just yet because I need to learn how to use the camera first, because I've only just got this thing. So that might be out sometime later this week. But before all of that, before we get into today's video, there's going to be some comments and questions on the screen answered from the previous video. If you would like your comments and stuff featured, you can leave them in the comments section below. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight, of course. So, what are we doing today? Well, you've probably been looking at this car thinking, Lex, that car looks a bit strange. Something's not right there. You've got like 2 number plates going on. What the hell is this? Well, let's just see. Can you guess the 2 cars that are combined in this build right here? I'm going to see it in the comments. I'm going to see. Have any of you got it yet? Of course, it is the Banshee and... Actually, this is the Banshee 900R. The Banshee 900R and the Aseo car, which is where the top half of this car is based. And actually, it kind of blends in quite well. It looks a bit strange because obviously it's meant to be a 4-door, but there's only 2 doors there. It looks kind of weird. And I'm also sitting like in the back seat. If I just go to the... Look at that, look, I'm actually sitting in the back seat. That was completely accidental. That kind of works. And there's the front seat right there. But that is the combination of these 2 cars. Now, you might remember that I did a video last week where I looked at some armored supercars, and I asked you guys to give me some suggestions of different cars that we could build, and you guys have given me a huge amount of suggestions, so I've picked a few of them at random, and we're going to try and attempt to build them today using the spooner function in the menus mod. So let me just go around here to a car park, if I can find one, and let's try and build some cool custom cars. Okay. Here we are on the roof of this car park, ready to do some amazing builds. So to do this, all we need is the menu mod. This is a fantastic trainer. There's also some really cool functions that are coming out for dynamic maps and things like that, where people can even make their own mini games. It is an incredible mod. There's so much stuff in here. But today we want to look at the object spooner. So let's just look at the first comment here. We've got from David Proudfoot. He says, dude, you need to do front and rear end of the Sultan RS, but put them in a limo. So that sounds like a great idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the object spooner. I'm going to go to spawn entity into world, and we're going to go to vehicles, and we're going to try and find the limo, and we're going to spawn ourselves 2 Sultan RSs. I think we might need 2 to have them, 1 at each end of the limo. Okay, so here's 1 Sultan RS. There's our second Sultan RS, and then we'll spawn in our limo if I can try and find it. And here we are, we have our stretch. So these are the 3 cars all built in. So what we want to do is we want to have the base of the limo. So that's going to be the main car that we're going to be driving. And we're going to style it with these 2 Sultan RSs. Or should we? Actually, we could actually make the base of it the front Sultan RS. So we have the handling. But because this is so long, this might turn out a bit weird. I'm going to go for the Sultan RS as the base model just because I want to see... like a really fast and nice handling limo. We'll see how that turns out. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the menus mod. I'm going to go to the object spooner, and we're going to go to manage entity database now that we spawned these entities in. So now that we got these, we have, there's our Banshee and the Aseo, which are just over there, as you can see from the arrow pointing out there. In fact, let's just go to the removal thing, and actually, ooh, that's going to be dangerous. Let's just delete them separately. There we go. Delete that. In fact, it's invalid because I deleted the other one, so we'll just ignore that for now. So here is Sultan RS1, here is Sultan RS2. I want to get the stretch fitted onto that second one. So I'm going to go to stretch. I'm going to go down here to attachment options, attach to something, and I'm going to select this Sultan RS here. And here is our limo. So this looks a bit weird for now, but what we have to now do is, well, not go out of it. That was dumb. We have to go down here to our attachment options, and now we have all of these things here where we can move it about. So there it is, moving to the left and the right. As you can see, there's our numbers, so we can center it back to 0. We can also change the sensitivity if you want to move it a great deal. There you go, it now moves a lot instead of a little. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. And what I want to do is, should we go for a Y? First of all, yeah, we want to make that so the Sultan RS is at the front. So we'll do that, and we'll also make it go higher. Is this going to work? We might have to do a bit of pitching and stuff like that, which is what I did with the Aseo, is where you can rotate it up and down. Okay, let's see if I can try and attach the Sultan to the limo now as well. Okay, so here's our other Sultan. I'm going to go to attachment options, attach to something, and we can either attach it to the Sultan RS and just move it back, or we can attach it to the stretch. So I might attach it to the stretch first of all, and let's see how this works. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make that one all the way to the back. This is probably... I don't know how well these are going to turn out. These may... Every single thing that has been suggested may turn into a failure. It might just be because I'm not that good at doing it. I've only just learned how to do it. But there is our first... Yeah, see that's... It's just a little too thin for the limo. The limo is just a little bit wider. That's a shame. If the Sultan RS was the right size... This is the problem. The Spooner works best when you mix and match car sizes in the right way. There are no way to change the sizes either. So I don't think this is going to work, this one, but we can just try anyway. So there is our back, which again, it looks completely wrong. In fact, what I'm also going to do now is I'm going to, while still modifying this Sultan RS, go to the customs. I'm going to go down to paints, and I'm going to go to primary, classic, and black. Oh, we're going to have to do it on both as well. Okay, so secondary, classic, black. There we go. So that's trying to blend it in somewhat, but no, I can't see this working out because it's just way too thin for this limo. Okay, so now if I try to move the limo, because I've attached the Sultan to the rear, it should actually move the limo and the rear Sultan at the same time. So let's have a look here. Let's just try and move this back. There we go. It actually moves the Sultan at the back as well. That's pretty cool. So... The only problem is, yeah, this is not going to work. I can't see this working because the Sultan is just so much smaller than the limo that it's only going to sort out the front properly if we do it like this, and that just looks really ridiculous. But let's just do this. I'm just going to turn all the paint on this one to black as well. Oh no, that's actually the limo, isn't it? Okay, let's just change that to black anyway. There's our black on everything. Now, we're going to go back to the Sultan RS and then do the paint on that one. It's a huge shame, but I'm going to see how this drives as well, because this could be quite interesting. Okay, there's all of our paint done, and that's pretty much the car done. It's a shame, but sadly, these... Oh, dear. Whoa, okay. Oh, right, of course, because this is so much longer, and we're using the Sultan as the base. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This is... Oh, dear. I don't think we're going to be able to see this very well, unless we do it in first-person mode, but even then, we can barely see it. In fact, is this even moving? I think we're stuck in the ground on this one. I think we might have to call this one a failure because it's not working. No, it's stuck. It's completely stuck. And, oh god, it's just Wait, where did it go? It just flew so... Oh, there it is! Whoa! What's going on? Okay. Maybe there's something to do with the collisions that I forgot about. Maybe I didn't... Oh god, it's still going. I perhaps didn't learn everything that I needed to know. Where has it gone? Okay, that was mad. I'm going to call that one a fail. Right, next one. Thomas Belfield says the Zentorno, the Entity, and the Zentorno. Let's give that one a try. So here's our Entity XF and the Zentorno. And what one am I going to combine here? What one looks thinner? I think they might actually be the same size. Okay, let's go back to Object Spooner. Spawn. We don't need to spawn anymore. Manage. I should have deleted all the other ones. Okay, let's try and delete those. Okay, I think they're kind of deleted. Those two are going to... I don't know, we'll sort those out in a minute. So I'm going to try combining the Zentorno... No, I'm going to try and combine the Entity to the Zentorno because that looks slightly smaller. And I think the smaller one is definitely the one we'll have to attach to the bigger one if it's going to look right. So I'm going to go to Attachment Options. attach to something, and Zentorno. There we go. Oh god, okay. That's kind of weird, but it's always weird to start off with. That is why we now have to change all the positioning. So let's just go for Y, and we're going to knock that down and see what we get. So that's going to have the back of the Zentorno, but we do have a bit of... In fact, let's just pop that back a little bit more. There we go. Look at that. So we've actually got like a double number plate thing going on, which is a shame. But there we go. There is the back of the Entity. It probably would have helped if you guys would have suggested which one goes back, which one goes forward. Actually, should we knock that down just there? That's an interesting car. I think most of these designs are going to look best if you blur your eyes, especially with these wheels on the side. Yeah, that looks really weird. Let's try a bit of pitch, actually. I'm going to pitch that slightly up at the front. There we go. And I'm going to knock that up a little bit more. Let's see how that looks. That kind of works. That kind of works. There we go. There is our... Oh dear. Have we got another collision error going on here? Yes. Clearly I have forgotten something here. So I'm going to get rid of the collision on the Entity XF. And that should hopefully mean we can now drive this thing. Let's give this another try. There we go. Oh, I think I know why. I think because we actually got in the door of this one and the other one we didn't, it was trying to take us into the car that wasn't drivable. That was the problem we had with the limo. I think I might try the limo again just because I want to see how it will drive. But there is our Entity and Zentorno. It looks alright from the front-ish. It looks alright from the back, but the side looks completely weird. But this is what it would look like if the Entity XF had a nice Zentorno roof on it. Doesn't look too bad if you blur your eyes and only look from about this angle here. Yeah. Okay, now we know about the collision thing, let's try and do the limo once again. Okay, so let's also get rid of the collision on both of these. I'm going to get rid of that one. And on that one, collision. So now we should be able to move that and drive the car. In fact, let's just try and test driving the car now and see what happens. Okay, there we go. The car is now completely drivable with the Sultan RS stuck inside. So now we can try and change this thing. In fact, I can see that the Sultan RS has a slight angle to it. So we might have to change the angles. And maybe we'll get something better this time. Okay, so I'm going to move this one over to the front right here. And also, yeah, it's got a kind of nose down stance to it. So we're going to have to bear that in mind with our pitch if we do change the pitch at all. So there we go. There's that down. See, look, it kind of blends in with the limo there. If we do that, then we kind of get like the limo lights and the badge in there. Let's just try and get a bit of the pitch and see if we can try and change this. Go down a little bit more. Yeah, I could do that, although that does look kind of weird. That kind of works. As long as we ignore everything else. We need to change the paint of that to black, of course. Okay, there is our classic on black, on secondary and primary. So now it blends in a lot more. Now you don't notice it as much on the front. So that actually looks perfectly fine. In fact, I noticed that this limo is kind of dirty, so we might have to clean this thing off as well. But let's just try and move the car to the back first. Right, so let's move this one to the back, and I think actually with the nose down thing that this might work a bit better. So let's just go down here. Yeah, see, of course there is the size difference. This is the problem. It's got quite a long boot on this limo, so we might have to stretch this out a bit more to like there, but even then it doesn't look right. Maybe we need to go with back further down. Let's change that. Let's get a bit of a rotation going and move that up. See, the wheels aren't actually attaching to the ground either, which is going to be an issue. Not for handling, because of course this won't mean anything, but it just looks really weird. Yeah, this just looks completely ridiculous. It's not going to work. But let's just paint it up anyway so we can get some idea of what it should look like if all the colors were matching. There is our Sultan. No, it looks wrong. Everything is completely wrong with this. No. No. But it actually handles pretty well. There we go. It works exactly like a limo should. And I think we should actually not have any collision on the back here. So if we try and drive into the back. Yep, that's going to happen. And then it's going to hit the actual limo right there. Okay, of course. Let's just also fix and clean it so it looks a bit better. There we go. No, it still looks really weird. It still looks really stupid. No, no. No, okay, definitely confirmed. Fail. Moving on to the third car then, Even Gunderson asks for the Futo and the armoured Kuruma to make the Furuma. This could be quite good. Let's try this one out. So I'm going to attach the Futo to the Kuruma. So I'm going to go to attachment options, attach to something, Kuruma, there we go. And I'm also going to get rid of the collision in case that causes any problems. And as you can see, it's almost lost inside of this thing. Look at how much smaller it is than the Kuruma. I don't think this is going to work at all. So there we go. We can have that on the front and move that down. This also might be, you guys might even be able to make these a lot better than I do. But from playing around with this, look, it's just so much smaller than the Kuruma that it looks really weird. I think this is where the problem lies. We need to make sure that the cars are the right scale. And I think, I don't know if this is possible, but I would love to see if menus came up with a scale thing to work with the object spooner, because if we were able to change the scale, we could actually just make the Futo just slightly wider, slightly bigger, and it would match with the Kuruma so much better that we might actually be able to come up with something that looks right. But that kind of, it just looks weird. Let's just try and get a bit more nose down on the front there and lift it up. No, it's not going to work, is it? No, that's not going to work at all. In fact, we need to do some less pitch because it's even going through on the window there. Yep, I can't see that working. I think this one is probably going to be confirmed not any good. This is something that we have to consider, and I did mention it, and obviously it's all about trial and error. So far, though, I think that one there, the Zentorno and the Entity XF mix, looks nice on the back. I think we've got a pass on the back there, even though we have got some sort of intersecting bits at the bottom and the double number plate thing. But if we ignore that, I think that is a success. But this and the limo, definitely confirmed fail. So the next one, Caden asks for the Nissan GTR looking one and the T20. Let's give those a try. So the Nissan GTR looking one, I assume, is going to be the Elegy RH8. That is the meant to be the GTR looking one. So we're going to combine that one with the T20 of all things. Let's see what it looks like. So there we go. There's these two. Now we're going to go to Manage Entity Database, and I think we should stick the Elegy inside the T20. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to do a lot of changing to this, a lot of down. We need a lot more in the ground if we can. Also, I need to make sure to get rid of the collision in case we have any problems like we did earlier. Okay, this is not looking too good. Nothing has actually worked for us so far. What I'm thinking is maybe moving this forward and having the back of the T20 and in the front of the Elegy. And I've got to say, it's actually creating quite a lot of lag. Something about these two cars right here is causing an intense amount of lag trying to change this thing. There we go. I think it's calmed itself down now. So I could have that on the front, and then on the back we can have that massive wing with the T20 rear. Oh god. That kind of looks really weird. That does not look right. Although that middle bit doesn't look too bad. I think we need to change all the colours. But it's a shame that we've got all the wheels and stuff. I think this might be another fail on our hands here. Okay, this whole thing just looks completely messed up. Let's just try and get all the colours matching so we can see what they look like properly together. So I'm going with a matte black on this just to see what it looks like. So we get a primary colour, matte, black, and also don't forget our secondary matte black. No, this is not going to work. It's another failure, I think. It's all about the scale. Some of these work. I'm actually quite shocked at how well the armored supercars worked, because some of them really look pretty good. But I think the scale is the biggest issue here. Although it's quite nice to have some T20 speeds looking at this GTR, which is nice. Although everything looks weird. The whole thing just looks completely wrong. No. No. Okay, now this one I have more high hopes for. GoPro Owens YT says Adder and Prius. This is going to be interesting. Okay, here we are, and they've even spawned in black, which is nice. So I'm going to go to the Dilettante. That's how you say it. Everyone just calls it the Prius. Let's go to the Prius, attachment options, and attach it to the Adder. Oh my god. Okay, it's, again, the Adder is a bit wider, but that might work in this case because it might make it look like a cool, like, wide arch kit or something for it. Oh my good god. This could be good. Let's see. Let's just move this down. Like that. No, that's kind of... Let's just move it forward, maybe. So we have the Prius front end. What does this do to the back? Oh dear. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's just get that right down on the back. You see, now what I've done is I've really knocked it down on the back, and that looks alright. That looks alright if you blur your eyes. I guess most of these look good if you blur your eyes. But on the front, it's all turned a bit strange. So I guess we're just going to try and knock that down. No, I don't know. I really wished I could make something really cool, but all of our trials so far have turned into massive failures. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, that looks ridiculous, and that thing on the back just looks ridiculous as well. Let's just get rid of the collision there and sort out the paints so they do match perfectly. So I'm going to go with the red this time because we keep going for black. So I've done the red on this one. Now we're just going to go to the adder and make this one red as well. It's probably still going to look terrible. Yep, there's our creation. It's not good. Yeah, when you're trying to get it to match on the back, as soon as you're trying to get it to match on the front, the whole thing just looks wrong, and you just can't get it to match perfectly. Oh, there is so much potential with this as well. I would just love to... Oh, here we go. Speed it up. Whoa! No. Terrible. Terrible. And in fact, actually, what is this? Is this the adder that we based it on? Oh, so at least we got some speed with this thing. But yeah, there is so much potential for this, but this just don't look right. Nothing we've made so far looks right apart from the back of the Entity Zentorno combo that we had. But I guess the thing is, when you try to get one that looks nice on the back, it's really hard to get it to look nice on the front, especially if you've done a lot of angling to get it that far. Okay, so let's do a couple more before we finish. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It might be quite long. Okay, I've got 2 more here that I want to try out before we finish. But I just want to say, guys, if you want to suggest some more, maybe I'll do another video attempting some more creations. Now that we've seen what we've done so far, we know the sort of rules are combining them. We have the problems with size and the angle of the car and all of this thing. If we could try and think of ones that you think will properly work, I'd be very interested to see. So the next one here is from the gaming person who suggests Duke of Death with the Sultan RS. This one could be good. Let's give it a try. Okay, here they are all together. So I'm going to try and combine the Sultan into the Duke of Death. I think that's going to be the way round we're going to do this thing. So let's go to attach to Duke of Death. There we go. And I'll also change the collision. And also at the same time, I'm going to turn it into matte black to match, because it's got to be matte black with the Duke of Death. Though I have noticed that the Duke of Death is incredibly dirty, but I'm sure we can fix that thing in a minute. So it's going to matte secondary black. There we go. In fact, I'm wondering, can we clean this thing from this menu? Let's go to Duke of Death. Let's go, where have we got? Fireproof, invincible rather. Gravity. There's a bunch of things that we could do with this thing. Trigger FX. There's loads of things that we could do here. What can we do? Starburst? What does that do? It's not doing anything right now. Whoa! Okay, it does that. Okay, that's amazing. Wow. Okay, I don't want to do too much of that because I don't want it to crash. Oh god, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. Okay, there we go. Whew. That was amazing. So apparently you can also make them do different things like that as well. There's also a task sequence. There are so many things to learn with this. It is amazing. So amazing. Right, okay, let's go to customs. Can we clean this thing? Oh, there we go. Look, dirt level. There we go. So let's try moving it forward first and see what we come up with here. I think the size is going to be the problem again. I think this is going to be our major problem with all of these. Look at this. It just looks ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Even when we got those ball bars. No, now we just sort of made like a stretched Sultan. Yeah, that does not look right. I think we should move it backwards instead. Okay, here it is moved to the back. And again, I'm not feeling any of this. I want to make this just slightly fit in on the back. See, no, it's again, it's the wideness that's giving us issues here, especially with the shape of the car as well. There are so many things to consider with this. In fact, let's just change the pitch as well, because there is a sort of nose down stance with the Dukes that we can go for here. So let's go there, knock that down, and I think this might be the best that we can do. Yeah, it's not turned out to be much of a success, really. Well, there we go. There is our feeble attempt at Sultan mixed with the Dukes. Now, this might be, again, me just being terrible and having bad ideas. Maybe it's the cars. I don't know. But I really think that there are some combinations that we could do that could turn out well. So I would love to see all of your suggestions. So the last one is actually a bit different because Joel Patrick suggests the land jet ski. Now, I've got a good idea with this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a bike for this one. So I'm going to go to the object spooner. Let me just get rid of all of the entities that we've got at the moment so they're all gone now. That's good. So I'm going to spawn in a vehicle, not one of those, not an object. Oh, by the way, you could spawn in anything. You can stick like fences and all sorts of things to objects. There are so many things that you can do with this. This is just one tiny bit, but I just love the idea of combining vehicles together. So I'm going to go down to the motorcycles. I'm going to grab myself an Akuma. It doesn't really matter what, I guess. I just like the Akuma. It's a good name. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spawn in. Where is our boats? Is it going to be in there? Dingy, 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 Jet Max. No, that's too big. What's the jet ski? Oh, there it is. The Sea Shark. There we go. What I'm going to do now then, I'm going to go to spawn. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to stick the Sea Shark into the bike just so we have them all together. There we go. And now what I'm going to do, well, actually, we could just leave it like that. Or not, because actually you can't drive that. I need to, oh, God, I need to turn the collisions off. Okay, I'm sort of combined in there, but that's a jet ski with wheels. But that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. What I want to do now is I'm going to go to Object Spooner, Manage Entity Database, and I'm going to go to the Akuma, and I'm going to make it not invincible, but invisible. There we go, visible. Oh, that gets rid of everything. Oh, that was such a good idea, though. Oh, how does this work? How does that work? I want to make that invisible, but the jet ski visible. How does that? Let's get a Sea Shark again. Sea Shark. Can I just make that one visible? Oh, there we go. That's how you do it. Right, brilliant. Okay. So now, oh, the only problem is now we're invisible. Oh, that's, oh, God. The thing is, you can't make it the speeder file that works because it doesn't have wheels. This is the problem. So we have to make it so that, see, that's visible, but now we are invincible. Let's just see if we can make ourselves visible in just a moment here. It also doesn't steer, I'm noticing. There's no steering element going on here. It's just sort of forwards and backwards. So let's just change this down and make this go down to the ground here like that. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. That's sort of in the ground there. So now that's all done. Why is this not right? What's place on ground going to do? Nothing. Okay. Trigger FX. We could just stick some... Oh, sparks. There we go. That looks like it's sort of combining with itself anyway. Okay, so there we are. We're back again. Now we can get on this. See, that looks right. Look at that. But it doesn't have any steering. Why is it not steering? If we could try and fix that steering or lack of steering, this is great. That's almost... Okay, it's not holding on to the right bit, but we almost have a jet ski that you could drive on land. Almost. But for some reason, that just does not work. Let's try and pick that up again. You see, look, we could pick it up. We could do all of that, just no turning. Something has got to be fixed here to get this to work. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the dynamic and frozen things, see what happens now. Can it turn now? Okay, now it just doesn't do anything. Okay, that was no good. Okay, so as soon as I set it to visible again, we have the ability to steer. And actually, to be honest, you can't see much of the bike. You can only just see a little bit of wheel at the bottom. I guess that's going to be the sacrifice that we make. So there we go. We have a land jet ski. That is the one sort of not failure that we've got out of this video. Apart from everything else, which was terrible. But if you have now that you've seen the video, got some more ideas based on cars that you know are of a similar scale or something like that, maybe I could do another video of some more of your guys' suggestions, some cool cars and stuff like that. But I think that's going to be it for this video. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit me a rating, comment, and subscribing. I apologize we couldn't get anything more awesome. I guess this was the most awesome thing out of the entire video. This land jet ski right here. But this just gives you a great idea of how to even build your own cars. So now you might not even need my video. You might just be able to get the menus mod and do it all yourself. Look at that. Oh, we actually completed it. Nice. Nice. Okay, well, there we go. That is it for this video, guys. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.